So what did you wind up going to jail for?
I went to jail for insider trading. See, Joe, publicly people know I bet on sports, and they know I'm, pretty good at that. And but I do a lot of other things, Joe. Since the late '80s, I've owned golf courses. I had 7 golf courses in Las Vegas, which, I built from scratch 4 of them, and the other 3. But I've owned and operated golf courses since the late '80s. I've had golf courses in Chicago, New Mexico, Arizona, but I had 7 in Las Vegas. Uh, when I got out of school, I went into the automobile business. I was in it 16 years. I got out, but I'm in the automobile business too. So I had 22 car dealerships at one time. So at the golf courses, car dealerships, bet on sports, but I invest in stocks. I invest my own money, not someone else's money. And, actually I probably have a bigger presence with that than I do betting sports because it's a bigger market. You can bet more. Well, I bought a stock. I'd owned it for 10 years. And I'd gotten involved. There was an SEC investigation. The initial investigation was into myself and Carl Icahn, and it involved a stock trade that I did with that he'd owned stock in. And that investigation went 3.5 years. It went nowhere because there was nothing there. There was no wrongdoing at all. And then there was a stock that I'd owned for 10 years, a stock called Dean Foods. And they'd been involved in a material transaction. They'd spun off a part of their company. And I owned a large amount of the stock. And the SEC was looking at anyone who bought and sold stock around a certain period of time, and I was one of those people. And it was at the end of the other investigation, and because of my notoriety, who I was, I'd been indicted 6 times before, and I'd gone to court and beat them 5 times. That started in 1983.
So you were already a marked man.
Well, yeah, Mark Man
What
would
had
say
you
the
been
least.
indicted for?
I've been indicted for betting on sports. Joe, stop and try to get your head around this one. In 1990, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the gaming capital of the world, the FBI took myself and my wife out of our home and handcuffs, and my wife, they had leg irons on her, and we were arrested and we were charged with being part of a criminal conspiracy, conspiring to bet on sports. Bet on sports. Now here we are, 2024. Betting on sports is legal in the majority of the United States. In 2023, in Las Vegas at the Circle Hotel, I was inducted into the Sports Gamblers Hall of Fame for betting on sports. But in 1990 in Las Vegas, Nevada, I was indicted along with my wife and charged with betting on sports. So, yeah, I'd gone to court a number of times. I'd beat them a number of times. Every one of the indictments were centered around my sports betting. That's what they were centered around, nothing more, nothing less. But I was a sports bettor.
So was sports betting illegal? What were the
No,
laws?
absolutely it wasn't illegal.
No.
No, not illegal at all. I was charged with being part of a criminal conspiracy, conspiring to bet on sports, betting people in other states. It was ridiculous. I went to court. My wife and I, we were exonerated.
So is it because it was legal in Vegas but not legal in other states?
They tried to make it that way, but when we went to court and the facts came out, we were exonerated on all the charges. There was one charge. The vote was 11-1 to acquit us. And come to find out, the one guy who voted against us hadn't told the truth in his interview to be on the jury. He was a former police officer, and so anyway, they chose not to indict us. They dropped the case. It was over with. But we were exonerated on all the charges except the one charge, and they were voted 11-1 to acquit us on that. And then I was indicted 3 times after that for the same thing, betting on sports. It was thrown out of court every time. And then so anyway, but what happens? What I realized through all of this, Joe, is the higher profile you have, the bigger target you become, especially if you're someone who's beat them a number of times over a period of years. There becomes a vendetta. You're the guy that everybody wants to bring down.